YouTube, what is going down, baby? It's your boy Mac, and we are back at it again in the Northeast. And today I got something different for you guys. Obviously, the two bikes in front of us are not sport bikes, but today I have a 2024 Ducati Hypermotard 698 mono. Very, very hot bike for the 2024 model year. And next to it, we have the GasGas 700 SM. And we're going to be doing a review on these bikes today. Something a little bit different, more of the sport touring enduro bikes. I love the Hypermotard. I never got a chance to ride one of these. And shout out to my boy Alex for letting me review this bike, because this is going to be an awesome review. And also shout out to Ian, who also owns the GasGas. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, so let's climb on this bad boy, give you our first impressions. Yep, as expected, this bad boy sits pretty tall, even for a I guess you would call this the entry level Hypermotard. Hopefully I'm not misspeaking, but as I said before, there are higher, more horsepower, higher powered versions of the Hypermotard. I believe this is the smallest one that they make with the 698 cc here. So seat feels a little stiff, not overly comfortable, but the position itself that you're sitting in is definitely comfortable. I like these guards right here, protect you from rocks and debris from hitting your hands. That's pretty nice. Ducati always has nice materials on here, similar to BMW as well too. So let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. This screen is a lot smaller than what I used to. Oh, hey, actually incorporated shift lights in this screen as well too. That's pretty dope. So here we have our mode selected right here. So if we want to press and hold that down, we get to select the different type of road, the different type of modes that you want to select. We have the adjuster right here. So if we want to go sport, we got road, we got urban, and we have wet. Excuse me. So for this, we'll start off in road, and we'll leave it as such. I don't want to mess up the settings if Alex already has the settings set up into here. But it just seems like you have your basic controls over here, high beam, low beam, your flash to pass, got your horn right here, kill switch, hazards, and I believe this is your stop and start switch right here. So, oh no, that's the hazards right there. What is this? Maybe DRLs right here is what this may be? Probably. But overall, they've, excuse me. Overall, they seem to have fit a lot of functionality within this smaller dash. This also has ABS as well too, so that's pretty dope. Come on, Ducati, rubber hoses, we gotta do better. I was thinking that this might have had steel braided brake lines, but either way, you don't need a whole bunch of stopping power with this type of bike. I'm just used to having steel braided brake lines on sport bikes, so let's go ahead and start this up and see how it sounds. Yeah, you can definitely hear that it's a single cylinder for sure. You don't really hear a startup like that too often. But again, this is not made for speed at all. This is more of a touring upright bike. But I don't necessarily think it's a long touring bike. Like, you may not want to take this, 600-700 miles, but you probably could, depending on your tolerance and how long you can actually, sit in this position for. But overall, this looks pretty good. As an off-bike look at it as it's warming up. These DRLs on the side, this looks nice. The Hypermotards always look so dope to me in the front. I've always wanted to own a Hypermotard. If there was ever like an enduro style type of bike that I wanted to own, it was definitely the Hypermotard. I thought it looked great ever since the first version of it. And it's really awesome that I get to review it. So let's get this on the road, see how it feels. All right, riding the Hypermotard 698, baby. This is a really, really attractive looking bike, I gotta say, man. From the videos and pictures that I saw online, it definitely looks smaller than the previous versions. I don't know if the body size is actually different, but I can kind of tell the difference between this and the 950 or the 1100 Hypermotard variations. I absolutely love the dual exhaust. The dual exhaust on the tail of this bike looks excellent. The GasGas looks nice too. But you can clearly see that it has a single exhaust system there, and I just really like the dual exhaust look. But this thing feels very, 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 very light. Let's test out some of the brakes here. Oh, that nose dives in on those brakes. No quick shifter. on this bike, even though I'm sure you can probably add it on if that's something that you really wanted to do. But you know, this type of bike is excellent for the area that I'm in right now. Could definitely, you know, hit some back roads in this, feel really comfortable. As I said before, you don't need a whole ton of power with these type of bikes. I feel upright, but I can still lean into these curves as much as I want to. These come with like street oriented tires. They're not like enduro tires that like you can take on trails, even though if you wanted to, I'm pretty sure that you could take some enduro style tires and hit some light trails with this type of bike. I'm pretty sure that this can get it done. Even this variation with the 698cc motor, you'll still have tons of power for trails and things like that. So definitely awesome to have. So right now we're in road mode. I'm not feeling a whole bunch of power, but I'm sure in sport mode this bad boy is going to wake all the way up. Oh man, with a dual exhaust, or the Acropovic dual exhaust system on here, this thing is sounding excellent. For a single cylinder, that sounds pretty freaking good, man. For sure. So you can definitely take another passenger on here. It has this, like, you know, this banana style seat, and I think both driver and passenger would be relatively comfortable on this bike. The mirrors are actually placed very well. I can see directly behind me with no issues whatsoever. So the mirror placement is awesome. And I love how Ducati is like incorporating more and more technology. You wouldn't think that this screen would show as much information that it does. This screen actually has a shift light in it, believe it or not. I don't think I'm going to hit red light because this bike is still pretty new. It's still being broken in. I think it has maybe under 25 miles or something like on that. So this bike is literally fresh off the showroom floor. And this bike seems to have made a lot of noise when it first hit. The 698 Mono, there's tons of reviews, and there's tons of hype behind this bike. This bike doesn't even have a whole bunch of parts out for it. I doubt that there's a flash for this bike just yet, and there probably isn't like a whole bunch of parts in terms of like exhaust systems or filters or things like that. So it's a fresh bike, so we're definitely going to see the development in this bike as time goes on. Oh man, yeah, that's so, I can't believe this is a single cylinder sounding like that. That's freaking dope, man. I like it a lot. So fresh from the factory, I just want to get off real quick. You guys get these LED turn signals on here, and you also have the LED DRLs on here as well too. Like the front end of this bike looks absolutely dope, man. I like this Italian flag in here as well too. This is absolutely awesome. Oops, waiting for me. Ooh. Get on this bike from the wrong side. A little bit of a task. This thing turns really well too though, man. Oh no, this got power. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, this has power. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, I cannot imagine how the other Hypermotards are, man. Whoa, okay, all right. I wasn't expecting that. And I'm still in road. I'm not even in sport yet. Oh, once you put an exhaust system on this, oh boy. And it has like street tires on here. These are not enduro tires. These are street tires, so you can get kind of busy on these curves, man. For real. This type of roads is exactly the application that you want this bike to be on. And then you can also take this into the city as well too, and still, you know, maneuver pretty well. You're still sitting, you know, pretty high above traffic, so you feel confident, you know, riding this in the city because you have a better vantage point than you would with a sport bike. But let's see if we can get this bad boy into sport. See if this changes at all. Nope, it's still in road. I might have to be at a stop in order to change the modes. I'm not sure yet, so we'll do that the next time we stop. Got a little information that displays going across. Wow, this thing sounds good, man. Now I'm excited. And like again, as I said before, it's amazing the technology that Ducati is incorporated into their screens, because this little screen displays a lot of information. So right now I have the air temperature, you get your trip information here, DPL, it's probably Ducati's, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's Ducati something. ABS control, Ducati wheelie control, Ducati traction control, and then engine temperature. So this thing is really, really, really informative. This is what 2024 motorcycles will bring you, man. It's freaking awesome. We're riding this bike now for at least the past 5-6 miles. Obviously you guys see that I'm going around curves and bumps and things like that, and I am comfortable. My back feels fine. I can flat foot this bike no problem at stoplights, but it is a little taller than what I'm used to. I'm 6 feet tall, about 219 pounds, and the riding position is absolutely fine. I definitely feel comfortable, even going around these curves and things like that. So definitely an awesome bike. Ooh, Ian's getting busy on that turn. Not I though. I don't know these roads, and this is my first time on this bike, so we will be taking it easy. But other than that though, man, this is this bike is actually surpassing my expectations. I didn't think it would be as fun as it is. I think it's a little bit more fun to me because it's kind of more street oriented. As I said before, you could probably throw on some enduro style tires and hit some light trails. You'll still have more than enough power for sure. You have the height for it as well too. But I mean, it's not really a dirt bike. You know what I mean? It's more like almost like a street dirt bike, if you will, in my opinion, definitely. But Ducati, good job, man. I think this bike is going to sell very, very well. For those of you that are interested in the Hypermotards and don't really know the different variations of them, for a person that may be new to riding, the 698 would definitely be up your field, because I can definitely see how the 950 or the 1100cc Hypermotards will scare some people for sure. Having that much power, not really feeling like planted like a sport bike where you're lower, you have a little bit more control. Things could probably get hairy real quick. But with this Ducati, I'm feeling good, man. Taking all these turns, no problem. Freaking awesome. Riding the GasGas SM700. Just off the rip, me getting onto this bike, I can feel that it is taller than the Ducati Hypermotard 698 for sure. I feel like the seat is a little bit more cushiony on the GasGas. Actually, I feel like the Ducati seat was a little bit harder. So let's turn this bad boy on. See the differences with the screen and from the Ducati to the GasGas. Basic controls here again too. You got your traction control over here. You got your horn, signals over here, high beam, low beam, and then you have your start button as well too. I don't see a mode selector here, so it's just one mode, I'm assuming. Two modes if you hold down the 1 and 2. Oh, map mode. Oh, okay, I see the map here. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So yeah, we actually can switch through that as well too. So let's go ahead and start this up. Okay, sounds pretty similar to the Ducati. Again, this is also a single cylinder bike as well too, and this also has ABS as well too. It sounds a little bit louder. Yeah, this sounds nice. Oh yeah? He's telling me that this actually has a quick shifter and auto blip. And I'm pretty sure this came from the factory like that as well too. So that's pretty dope. That is a necessity. Still have rubber hoses up here as well too. But yeah, this looks nice. And what Ian was telling me is that this actually looks a little bit slimmer here, and it actually does look a little bit slimmer because the gas tank is actually in the back. So let's get on this bad boy, shall we? Yes, the quick shifter works nice on this. I don't see a gear indicator though, so you're gonna have to do some counting in your head, which is okay. Oh, but man, having that quick shifter back feels great though. I'm not gonna lie. Having a quick shifter in your life is so necessary at this point in time. These bikes feel very, very similar. I think the only other bike, not the only one, but another direct competitor to this would be the Husqvarna 701. I haven't ridden that bike. I've never ridden a Husqvarna before, but we're trying to add that to the bikes for the 2024 season, shall we? So off the rip, it feels like a bigger bike. The GasGas feels like a little bit of a bigger bike. I feel like the Ducati was a little bit smaller, but because it's bigger, it doesn't really necessarily mean that it's more nimble. This still feels just as nimble as the Ducati. See how these brakes feel? Okay. Oops. Yep, the brakes feel pretty decent on this as well too. Feels similar to the Ducati. Ian is getting busy on those leans over there. Not I though. I'll be taking my time, my little putt-putt. But having a quick shifter definitely allows you to enjoy the bike a little bit more, in my opinion. I'm surprised Ducati didn't incorporate a quick shifter on there, but I'm sure it's probably an add-on that you could probably get from the dealership itself. Takes over the bumps pretty similar to the Ducati as well too. I don't feel a huge difference in terms of that. The riding position is also the same. I feel like the seat is a tad bit softer than the Ducati seat, which is actually surprising to me. I like the and the auto blip feels excellent too. That auto blip felt good. Auto blip definitely felt good. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm already feeling a little bit more at home on the GasGas than I am on the Ducati. And what Ian was also explaining to me too is that he actually has some enduro style tires for this bike, because he's actually going to be taking this on the trails, just as what I said earlier. That's the benefit of having these dual sport type of motorcycles. You know, summertime you can get some street riding in for sure, and then, you know, maybe towards the end of the season swap out some tires for some dual sport tires, and then go rip up some trails. You know what I mean? You can even bring in a passenger as well with you too, because these banana seats have more than enough room for a passenger for sure. With the company of GasGas, but Motorcycle Mall definitely does sell GasGas in their dealerships, and I believe GasGas was just bought from KTM, so hopefully KTM can expand the market a little bit and we can get even more GasGases, or the name rather should be a little bit bigger than where it is right now. I don't believe they make any other type of bikes, so I hope I'm not misspeaking, but I'm not sure if they do. But they definitely don't make any sport bikes, that's for sure. But that's okay. It's quite alright. It's a dope view right there. But yeah, I'm already feeling pretty good on this bike. I love the red too. The red looks really, really good. After I secure myself another sport bike, I will be looking into these type of bikes for sure, and who knows, maybe the Hypermotard might be my first Ducati, because I already have a sport bike in mind that I want to get, an additional sport bike, and then after that I'm definitely going to be trying to secure a different type of bike for sure. As you guys can see, the gauges look a little bit different from the Ducati. I definitely prefer the gauges on the Ducati better than the GasGas. But you know, Ducati's always going to make their bikes look a little bit more prettier than its competitors, which is completely okay. I mean, when it comes to having to hit the trails and things like that, you don't necessarily need like a shift light like what the Ducati has. But I mean, the GasGas still gives you all the basic functionality, what you need to know what's going on the bike itself. And it's actually awesome that you actually can switch the modes here as well too. So pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. I'm loving the fact that I'm reviewing, you know, different type of bikes and not just sport bikes, because you get to see what other companies can do beyond just going really, really fast. You know what I mean? So just giving it a little bit of a different aspect to enjoying other companies' motorcycles. So for sure, big shout out to Alex and Ian for letting me review these bikes. Definitely dope to have these on the channel for sure, man. Don't have any other, you know, too much complaints about it. These bikes are extremely similar in personality, and ride height, And build quality, I'll probably give Ducati the upper hand for sure. Looks, I'll probably give the Ducati the upper hand for sure too. But as far as just getting the job done of what it was actually made for, these bikes are very, very similar. I'm going to try to find out the price differences between the two, which I'm sure the Hypermotard is more expensive, but... Oh yeah, see, these got power, man. These have power for sure. Because you hear that it's one cylinder doesn't mean that, you know, it's lacking on power. This thing got up to speed pretty quick just now. The Ducati surprised me for sure, but this bike is pretty good, man. I like it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right, guys, we are back and we have finished the ride review on both of these motorcycles. And man, I'm really liking both of them. Really liking both of them. They're both single cylinder. They both have about 700 cc's. This is a 700 and then this is a 698, which makes them relatively similar to one another. But if I had a choice between the two, I'd probably go with the Ducati. And the reason why I'd go for it is because, it's Alex right now pulling up an STI. But the reason I'd go for the Ducati is because I just like the features of it a little bit better. I love the LED lights on this. I love the look at it. I absolutely love the dual exhaust on this bike. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Love the tech, which is the screen and things like that. But again, what I was told, the GasGas is maybe $300 less than the actual Ducati itself. But I mean, what you would get this bike for, both bikes can get the job done. So it really comes down to personal preference. But in my personal preference, I think I'd rock out with the Ducati, man. So let me know what you guys think of the review. Let me know what you guys think about the bikes. Correct me if I'm wrong with any information that I put out on here, because I don't know these Hypermotards or these supermotos as well as a lot of other people though. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys on the next episode, people. Ride safe. Peace out.